as you lengthen through the spine, raise the crown of the head high. And as you exhale, feel the shoulders fall from the ears, relax through the legs, grounds. Maybe just allow the gaze to soften, our eyes to close here as we come to find our center. Maybe even bringing the hands over the heart. We're going to activate our Ujjayi breath, our ocean breath. Taking a nice deep inhale. On the exhale, just gently close your throat as if you were fogging a mirror. And exhale all of it out. A few more breaths here. Just allowing your mind to come into this present moment, your awareness filling with the sensations and sound of your breath. Our breath gives us strength, and we'll be using it throughout the practice to get deeper into our postures. Releasing your arms by your side here. We're just going to move into the neck, allowing the chin to fall towards the chest. And bringing the ear to shoulder, rounding through the neck. You don't have to bring the head all the way back, just gentle forward movement within the head. Letting the head be really heavy. And we'll come back through center. With the head, we're going to get into the shoulders. Inhale, lift the shoulders up. Exhale, draw them down and back. Nice big shoulder rolls. Forward and up, down and back. Letting your body be loose here, not too stiff. Oh, live stream. Thank you. Okay. And then switching directions. Shoulders up and forward, down and back. Coming through center, we're going to bring our hands to our hips here and just gently roll out the hips, bringing them forward and back and around in one direction. Making these as big as you like. And switching directions. Not forgetting to breathe. We're going to come back through center here. Just take our feet about the distance of the mat, a little bit wider. Inhaling, arms overhead. Exhale, we're going to drop the right hand down the right leg as the left arm reaches over into a side stretch. Inhaling back up. Exhale, left hand down the left leg, right hand overhead. Maybe gazing up over under the armpit here. Inhale back up. We're going to take some twists so you can extend your arms out by your side. We're going to inhale, lengthen. Exhale, twist while folding forward. The right hand reaches for the right toes. No worries if you can't reach there. Take that left hand and really pull it away from you, opening up, gazing up towards those left fingertips. And inhale, we'll come back up to standing. Exhale, left hand to left foot. Really reach those fingertips back behind you. We'll take it once more on each side. Inhale, come back up into standing. Exhale, right hand to right foot. To left foot, I'm sorry. To the opposite foot, taking a twist. Inhaling back up. And exhale, left hand to right foot. One more time here. Really open that high hand up, gaze back towards that hand. And inhale, we'll come back up through center, bringing our feet closer together, more hip distance here. We're going to come up high onto our tippy toes. You can interlace the fingers and press the palms up towards the sky, activating through the core. This is a exercise that takes strength from all of your muscles, so activate through the whole body, standing high on your toes, really pressing into the big toes. And then we'll exhale, release the heels down, bend the knees, and we're going to fold gently forward. On the inhale, we're going to reach the arms up by our ears, but keep our hips sitting low in a chair pose, as if you're sitting in a chair. We're going to open the chest, gaze up, and sit the hips low. Inhale, back to standing. You can release the arms. Let's go for another round. Inhale onto the toes, interlace the hands, press the palms up to the sky. Exhale, release the heels, bend the knees, fold forward. Letting it all go. Inhale, we'll bend the knees, sit the hips down. Our arms come right by our ears into our chair pose. You should be able to lift the big toes off the ground here. Most of your weight in the heels. Engage tight through the core. And then we'll inhale, release, arms by your side. Let's just go ahead and take one more dangling pose here to really get into our hamstrings, get the back to decompress. We're going to spread our feet hip distance apart, bending the knees gently. We're just going to exhale, fold the chest forward, draw, allowing the upper body to become nice and heavy. If you'd like, you can always place your forearms on your knees if it's just a bit too much of a fold here. Taking hands to opposite elbows. Maybe allow a little sway to decompress a bit more. One more breath here. Feel the belly expand. And exhale, draw the navel back towards the spine as you sink a little bit deeper into the fold. We're inhale, bend through the knees, round through the spine as we stand all the way up, arms overhead. Exhale, release arms by your side. We'll shift our weight into the left foot. Inhale, bring our right knee in towards our chest. Really pull the knee in. And maybe allow the ankle to roll a few times in one direction. And then the other. So we're practicing our balance here, and a great way to work on balance is to find a point to fixate on, a drishti point. Always helps the balance. We're going to just take a gentle twist here. If you'd like to challenge yourself a little bit in your balance, really engaging through that standing leg, keeping the left hand on this right knee. We're going to take this right arm behind us, opening the chest out to the side. Coming back through center, we're going to step this right leg behind us a short distance, not too far, and point the toes towards the right corner, 45 degrees. Inhale, lengthen straight through the spine. Exhale, folding from the hips. We're going to fold forward. Try to keep both legs straightened if you can. And don't be afraid here to maybe even round through the spine as you compress into that left hip. Think about drawing the right hip forward, left hip back. Inhale. Exhale once more in this pose. And we'll inhale, come up to standing. We're going to pivot the back toes to face the long side of the mat, extending our arms long here. We'll inhale, pull the left fingertips forward over the left toes. And on the exhale, allow our body to fold over side into our triangle pose, where we stack our shoulders, stack our hips. The arms making a straight line. You can gaze up if that feels okay for you. And again, maybe always use blocks if you like, inside the leg, outside the leg, to help with your balance and stability. We'll inhale, back up to standing, reach this left top arm overhead to reverse the triangle, and release, step it forward to the top of the mat. Just taking this to the other side, shift your weight onto your right foot, spread those toes to help the balance. We'll inhale, lift the left knee and pull it in towards the chest. Find that point of focus to help you balance. And circle the ankle. Switch directions. And we'll take our twist here if you'd like, keeping the right hand on this left knee. Really feeling strong through that standing leg. We'll peel the left arm back behind us, taking a gentle twist. Coming back through center, we're gonna step this left foot a short distance behind us. Again, just making sure those toes are pointed 45 degrees towards the corner. Inhale, lengthen through the spine, open the chest. Maybe hands on your hips here is nice. Exhale, fold from the hips. Draw the chest forward down towards the front standing leg. You can release the hands here if you'd like. And square the hips, left hip draws forward. Taking a nice deep breath. We'll inhale all the way back up to standing. Pivot the back toes so they're facing the long side of the mat. We're preparing for a triangle pose, so extending the arms nice and long. We're gonna inhale, pull the fingertips forward, and exhale, bend over our side. Trying to keep both knees straightened if you can. Staying nice and long through the side body. Inhale, back up to standing. Exhale, reach the right arm overhead, reverse the triangle. Exhale, we'll come back to standing at the top of the mat. We're just going to take sort of a modified vinyasa flow here to warm up the body, get some more heat going. Inhaling, arms overhead, nice and long. Exhale, fold forward. Feel free to bend the knees, forward fold. On the inhale, we'll halfway lengthen, straighten through the legs, pull the shoulders away from the ears. Exhale, plant the hands down and step the feet behind you into plank, really making sure the shoulders blades are pulling away from each other, protracting. We'll engage the core nice and tight here. Inhale, lengthen through the crown, lengthen through the heels. Exhale, our knees fall towards the ground, followed by our chin and our chest. On the inhale, pull the chest forward and up between the hands. Engage the glutes here. Bring the shoulder blades together. Keep an open chest. You don't have to extend the elbows all the way quite yet if you're not ready yet. Just a cobra of some sort. Take another breath here. Inhale. Exhale, we'll push the hips back onto our heels into a child's pose. Allow the spine to round. We'll come up a little bit, tuck the back toes. We're going to extend our legs into our downward facing dog, bringing them hip distance apart, our feet. And let's just add some movement if you like, pedaling out the feet, drawing one heel to the ground, bending the other knee. Whatever movement here feels good for you. In this downward facing dog, we're gonna really focus on lifting our hips. So don't even worry about bringing your heels to the ground. You can even come up on your toes. We really wanna lift those hips as much as we can, draw our chest back towards our thighs. Taking another deep cleansing breath, fill the belly with air. Exhale, open the mouth, let it all go. We'll inhale, lift the heels, and just start walking our feet up towards our hands. Once again, coming into a forward fold, bending through the knees, rounding through the spine, inhaling all the way up to standing arms overhead. Exhale, release. Oh, I always just love that feeling of blood going from my brain. Just allow yourself a moment here. We're gonna go ahead and take a standing flow. So keeping this left leg forward, we'll step the right leg behind us, bend through the front knee 90 degrees. We're in a crescent lunge here. Try to get really nice and low with the hips straight through the back knee. Inhale, maybe you lift your arms by your ears. We'll take one more breath here. Inhale. And exhale, drop the back knee behind you, lower the hips. You can release the toes. We're coming into a low lunge. Feel free to plant the hands if that helps. We're just going to take a breath here. See if you can allow the hips to sink a little bit deeper. And then we'll place the hands beside to frame the front foot. Inhale, just look forward, open the chest. On the exhale, we'll straighten through the left knee, push the hips back or half split. Feel free if you're feeling a little tight to add some movement coming forward and back. Or you can just find some stillness in your half split. Squaring the hips again, flexing the front toes for a deeper sensation. Inhale, lengthen through the spine. Exhale, don't be afraid to round through the spine as we compress the hip here. Draw that chest towards the knee. Inhaling, we'll come up high onto our knee. We're just going to pivot so that we're facing the long side of the mat. I'm gonna turn to face you here. This is our gate pose. And the left extended toes are turned to face the long side of the mat. You can try to press that whole foot into the mat. We'll inhale, reach arms overhead. Exhale, left hand slides down the left leg as we reach the right arm overhead. Inhaling back up. Exhale, right hand plants beside you. Left arm goes overhead. Gazing up. We'll release the left fingertips down, walk both fingertips in front. And here we're just gonna try to push the hips back towards the heel, taking a variation of a child's pose. That feels okay for you. Inhaling back through center. We're gonna walk our hands here towards the front of the mat, keeping both hands inside of this left leg. We'll bend the left knee, coming into a lizard pose, a lizard lunge. Get nice and low here. If you'd like to take a gentle twist and reach the left arm behind you. Feels really nice in this posture. From here, we're gonna tuck the back toes and start to pivot all the way towards the left even more. So pivot towards that bent front knee. We're going to turn the front toes. You might have to pull this foot back a little bit, take an adjustment. The left toes face the long side of the mat forward. And the back foot is on its outer blade of the foot. Hopefully this makes sense. You can find the matching pose here. We're going to press into the right hand and inhale, lift the hips up, reach the left arm overhead. Just adding some movement here, lowering the hips. Inhale, lifting the hips, lowering down. Inhale, lifting up. Holding this lifted posture, we're going to move into a side plank. If you'd like, you can go into a little bit more of a challenging pose too. So you could just stay in a side plank, or you could take the top left foot behind the bottom right leg and press the hips up to the sky. Really allow that left hand to reach overhead into our wild thing pose. Inhaling. Exhale. Release the hips down. We're going to plant both hands, turn the hips into plank pose. Inhaling. Exhale, knees, chest, chin towards the mat. Inhale into our cobra, gently rounding, arcing the spine. And exhale, push the hips back onto the heels, round through the spine. Keeping the back toes tucked here, we'll extend straight up into our downward facing dog once again. And just walk our feet back to our hands at the top of the mat, releasing into a forward fold. And inhaling all the way up to standing. Exhale, release. We'll take it to the other side here, stepping the right leg far behind you. Bigger stance this time than before. We're taking our high crescent lunge, bending 90 degrees through that front knee. Feel engagement through the lower body, the power, the strength. Maybe reaching your arms up to the sky. Inhale. And on the exhale, bend the back knee, lower it to the ground, release the toes into our low lunge. You can bring hands to your hips, hands to the floor, whatever feels good for you here. Take a few breaths, just allowing the hip to open up and really release. Our hands are going to come to frame the foot in front of us. Inhale, just pull the chest forward, gaze up. Exhale, push the hips back, straighten through the left leg, flex the toes. Oh, I'm literally doing the same side as I did last time. Yes, straighten. We're in half split, hopefully on your other side with the right leg forward. You can add movement, moving forward and back with the hips, or just take a fold. We're going to inhale, come up high onto our knee here, and pivot to face the long side of the mat, trying to press the right foot, the whole foot down into the ground. Our right hand comes down the right leg, left arm reaches over. This is a great hip stretch here. Should feel nice sensation through the inner hip. Inhale, back up, left hand plants, right arm goes overhead. Release the right hand down, walking the hands in front of you. We're just going to gently push the hips back into a modified child's pose, as far back as feels okay. Inhale, coming back up, We're going to pivot the back knee so it's once again facing forward, pivot the toes so they point up. Our hands come inside of this right leg, and we're going to bend through the right knee into our lizard pose. Again, you can take a twist here if you'd like to keep the left hand planted, reach the right fingertips behind you. And then this is here where we take kind of this hip opening stretch. We're going to tuck the back toes and start to turn the body towards this bent knee right next to you. Turn, 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 turn. The front toes turn to face alongside the mat. The back foot is on its outer blade. You can readjust your stance here if you need to. We're going to press into this left hand. Inhale, lift the hips, right arm reaches overhead. Lower the hips down. Inhale, lift the hips, just adding movements. Lowering the hips. Once more, inhale, lift the hips up high. And here we'll come into our side plank, lots of strength. Take this front leg, bring it into your side plank, or if you'd like, step it behind the base leg and press the hips up, round, kind of arc the spine, bend through the spine. Reach the right fingertips overhead. This is our wild thing pose. Releasing here, we're going to bring the right hand down to the mat, pivot to come into your plank position. Feel the engagement, feel the strength. Inhale, exhale, knees, chest, chin to the mat. Inhale, pull the chest forward and up. And exhale, push the hips back into child's pose. We're going to come right up onto our hands and knees. Shoulders stacked over the wrists, hips stacked over the knees. Let's do some cat cows. Inhale, pull the navel down, open the chest, gaze up. Exhale, round through the spine, pull the navel towards the spine. Maybe even tuck the back toes. Chin towards the chest. Inhale, drop the navel down, open the chest. And exhale, round through the spine. Really tuck the pelvis. Once more, inhale, open the chest. Exhale, round the spine. Coming through center, we're just going to get into our upper body a little bit more here, walking the hands forward and keeping them a bit wide. We're going to lower our chest down to the ground, keeping our hips stacked over our knees. This is our puppy pose. You can rest the forehead on the ground or gaze forward, trying to bring the chin towards the ground. We're just going to add some movement, lifting and then lowering. Lifting the chest. Exhale, lower it down. Open it up. Once more, we'll inhale, lift. And exhale, lower. Just try to hold this pose a little bit longer for a breath or two. Seeing if you can go just a little bit deeper from breathing. We'll inhale, lift the chest, walk the hands back towards us. We're going to turn to face alongside of the mat. Keeping our big toes together, we're going to walk our knees as far apart as we can. This is our froggy pose. So keeping your hips in line with the knees, you might want to keep your hands planted, or you can even come down onto your forearms here. To come into the full froggy posture, we want to bring our ankles to be in line with our knees and flexing the feet. Here you can move your hips forward and backward. Hopefully you're feeling a nice sensation. Wonderful. We'll bring the toes back together, bring the hips back towards us, and release out of our froggy pose. Sit the hips down on the mat and open our feet out wide into a dragonfly posture. You can flex the toes, make sure the knees and toes are pointed up. Inhale, arms lengthen. You can stay here if you're already feeling a stretch, or if you like, you can gently walk the hands out in front of you. Just try to keep your spine straight in instead of rounding. It's always really helpful to think about engaging through the legs and the glutes as you stretch here. I think it always helps to go deeper into the stretch if you engage and activate through the legs. We'll inhale, come back through center, lifting the body up. We're going to bring our left foot in towards our groin here, keeping this right leg out extended. Inhale, arms reach up. Exhale, right hand comes inside the right leg as the left fingertips reach overhead to the right toes. Open up the shoulders here, gaze up. We'll inhale, come back up through center. We're going to transition into a deer pose from here. We take this extended right leg and bend it, bring the foot behind us, but the knee is in line with the hip. So you kind of, yeah, the knee is in line with the hip, the ankle is in line with the knee and the toes. Plus, it's like a froggy pose, but instead we have this front left leg bent in front of us. We're going to take our right hand outside of the left knee and do a gentle twist. If you'd like to twist a little bit deeper, you can plant the hands and lower the chest towards the ground. Inhaling, straightening through the spine. We're going to extend this right leg behind us and keep turning towards the left as we roll our hips down to the ground, coming into a pigeon pose. This left foot can stay in towards the opposite hip, or you can push the foot away from you for a deeper stretch. Really want to make sure our hips are square towards the ground. That back foot is in the center of the mat, straight towards facing the ground. You can inhale, just open the chest. If you like, you can exhale, gently fold forward. Breathing deep here. On the inhales, think about your spine lengthening long. And on the exhales, think about releasing, relaxing, letting go. We'll inhale, press the body back up. We're going to take this back leg, swing it all the way around, and come right into a fire log pose where we stack our shins on top of each other. So this right foot comes stacked on top of the left knee, and we just try to press this right knee down onto the left foot. Might not be able to go very far, and that's okay. Just try your best to feel sensation through this outer right hip. You can inhale, just sit nice and tall, or even exhale for more sensation, fold over the knees. Just getting really nice and deep into the hips here. We'll inhale, lengthen. We're gonna stretch this right leg out in front of us. Feel free to keep a bend through the knee or try to straighten it. And take this bottom left foot closer to the opposite hip. From here, we'll place the right foot outside of this thigh and take a deeper twist. You can either hug this knee in towards your chest or take the left elbow outside of the right knee as we twist open, gaze over the right shoulder. Use that right hand to support a nice tall spine. Try to keep both sit bones planted. And here we'll just take a breath deep into the belly. And exhale, release it out, let it go. We're going to come again to face alongside of the mat, bringing bottoms of the feet together, opening the knees out wide in a little butterfly pose. Just taking a moment to appreciate the stretch here. We're going to take it to the other side, extending the left foot out to the side. Inhaling, arms overhead. Exhale, left arm inside of the left leg as the right arm reaches for the toes. Breathing into the side body, maybe gazing up. We'll inhale, come back up. We're going to take our deer pose, bending this left knee, bringing the knee in line with the hip, the ankle in line with the knee, and flexing that left toe. Really trying to press the sit bones into the ground. You should feel a pretty good opening through that left hip. We're going to take our left hand outside of the right knee and twist, gaze to the right. If you'd like to go deeper, you can try to reach the chest towards the ground. Inhaling back up, we'll straighten this left leg behind us as we pivot and turn, squaring the hips down towards the mats, facing the short edge once again in our pigeon pose. Adjust yourself here so you're getting a nice sensational, but not too much of a stretch. We're gonna inhale, open the chest. And if you'd like, you can exhale, fold forward over the front knee. Taking a few deep breaths here. Once again, thinking about inhale, lengthening the crown of the head forward. And on the exhale, let it all go. Feel yourself sink deeper into the posture. We'll inhale, press our chest all the way back up, taking this back leg and swinging it all the way around. The left foot comes on top of the right knee. And here we just try to press the left foot, the left knee down. Trying to stack the shins on top of each other. No worries if you have to cross the legs. You can inhale, lengthen, and once again, if you'd like, exhale, fold forward. Using your breath to welcome more space into our hips. We'll inhale, press the chest back up if you folded. We're going to extend straight through this left leg, maybe pull it towards you, maybe bend the knee, and then pull this right foot a little bit closer to the opposite hip so that we can cross this left foot over the right leg. Keep the knee lifted. And you can hug the knee into the chest as you turn to face the left, or take the right elbow outside of the left knee, gazing over the left shoulder, sitting nice and tall. Inhale into the belly. Releasing the twist, coming back through center. We're going to go ahead and extend the legs straight out in front of us. Coming into a head to toe pose. Feel free to bend the knees here. Or if you'd like, you can just inhale, lengthen through the spine. Exhale, fold forward. Maybe using your hands under the knees, around the ankles, or even around the feet. We really want to think about inhale, pulling the chest forward. And exhale, just allow yourself to fold nice and deep. Let's check the time real quick. Awesome, perfect. Taking a few breaths here. We'll come to place the hands behind the hip, lift the chest, hands behind the hips, bend the knees, plant the feet on the floor. Just a quick counter pose to the head to toe. We're going to inhale, lift the hips up. Maybe allow the head to draw back if it feels okay in our reverse tabletop. Lift high through the hips. Exhale, release the hips down, and we're going to round our spine all the way to the ground. So I thought it would be fun today to try an inversion. Try it out. If it doesn't work for you, that's okay. At least you tried. Keeping your head gazing up the whole time, not moving it side to side. We're going to just gently try to kind of rock the knees back towards the chest, trying to lift the hips, and then take your hands under the hips and walk your hands up your back. You can allow the spine to round here if you'd like. You can try to straighten through the spine. Just allow the feet, the knees to kind of go overhead here. This is our plow pose. So just experiment. You can keep the knees bent. You can try to straighten the knees overhead. Whatever feels good for you here. Really allow that neck to be nice and long. This is a great neck stretch, upper body stretch. We'll try to move from here into a little bit more of a challenging, engaging posture if you'd like. You can inhale, lift the toes, the legs, straightening them up overhead into a shoulder stand. My best advice would try to be to bring the elbows close together. Just really squeeze through the core. And we'll exhale, release gently, vertebrae by vertebrae, ever so slowly. We're just gonna roll the spine down all the way. So that was just a taste kind of plow pose and shoulder stand. There's definitely a lot more you can do there. Release the spine down, release the legs down. We're gonna bring the bottoms of the feet together as we open the knees out wide away from each other. Coming into reclining butterfly here. Bringing the knees together, pressing the whole back on the ground, tucking the pelvis. We'll hug the knees in towards the chest. Give yourself a nice big squeeze. Pull the head towards the knees. And exhale, we'll release, extending legs, extending arms. Opening the palms up to the sky, welcoming a nice deep breath. Exhale, letting it all go. Just finding our final resting posture, Shavasana. Feeling your face relax, the eyebrows, the jaws, the cheeks. Allowing everything we've just done in the practice to settle in, to integrate. Just taking an observer stance here, noticing how you feel, both physically, tired you might feel. Taking another deep inhale, inhaling all the chaos and stress. And exhale, let it all go. Once again, another deep inhale. Fill the stomach, fill the ribs, fill the chest. Maybe hold the breath in a little bit. Exhale, let it all go. Taking another deep inhale, reaching arms overhead, giving yourself a full body stretch. And exhale, rolling on to either side. Pressing your way back up into a seated position at your own time here.
Namaste.
Taking, oh, namaste. Thank you. Hope you have a wonderful
Bye.
weekend. Thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you.
Bye. Thank you.